These were the problems you have. These are the 3 steps you can take, and this is where you can achieve, provided if all these things are done properly by your people. Ultimately, it comes to people. Okay? Hence, we say you may be having a very good framework, and you may be having a very good, you can establish your MBOs, KPIs, etc. But the enablers plays a very, very vital role. And in that, you may be having procedures, standards, guidelines, full of knowledge portal available. But ultimately, it all depends on how it is being understood and implemented on a day-to-day basis by the people. For example, the human capital, what we call it as people are human capital. Any questions? Are we clear? Are we talking very high end or very low end? I just wonder if I can change this title depending upon your requirement. Are you okay? Fantastic. So I think everybody is talking about is achieving business excellence either through a process or through a procedures or through technology, or we can take each one of them as subjects here. I'm trying to understand how many of you have done a stakeholders analysis or stakeholders management and stakeholder handling the stakeholder expectations. Please raise your hands. Okay, great. So let me go back to again a little bit behind. You are constructing a good work bungalow, a villa in Ooty. Okay, you want to construct, and you want to give it to your end objective is you want to give it to Taj to take it over and manage it. So that you will invest in, say, 1 crore rupee, and you should be able to get at least minimum 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs per year from Leela. Okay, that is your objective. So who are the stakeholders here? Huh? Who are the stakeholders? Yeah, first person, first you are the first person, you are the stakeholder first, number 1. Okay, then architect. Taj is the end customer, still I have not got to him, he doesn't influence me, but I know his standards, what I have to meet. Okay, then?
Local population and yes.
Local population, which may influence me, very good.
Tourism. The
Vendors, tourism. Finances, very fantastic. Without that, finance you can do it.
Neighbors. Accommodation problems in OT.
All these things. Means, you are going to do, if I want to make it this project, this consulting delivery project, I can call it a consulting delivery project. If I want to make this success, first I need to identify who are my stakeholders, what are their expectations, and how can I really achieve those things at the end of my project. Then only I am successful as a project manager, or a portfolio manager, program manager, whatever you call it as. Please, we can move forward, Sundar. I think I don't want to run through this leadership, because leadership are, by so many styles are there which you already touched upon, and what you should always have a situational leadership is the one which makes a person successful. That's what with that we land with this. But however, I want to say a leader is one who leads by example. I think you have seen this border movie and other movies, correct? The difference between a border movie and other movies.
Which movie, sorry?
Border.
Border.
Yeah. So earlier in Mahabharata Katha and all, the king used to be at the back end, and he will say all the soldiers, go attack, everything will happen. And at the end, what will happen? If they win, well and good. If they lose, the king will surrender. Correct? On the other side, the English movie, if you see, the modern movie, the Hindi movie, if you see, actually they will be standing in the triumph, and they will see, they will fight, and they will sacrifice, or they will win. So a leader is one who is always not at the back. He should actually lead as an example. I always quote, when I was working with Polaris, I had my CEO, Arun Jain, still is there. And he used to tell me one thing. He used to call all the project managers and say one word in the meeting. Today morning, every day, from today, every day, 9 to 10 is for me to hear only all bad news of what is happening in the company. Okay? If there's a customer escalation, anything you heard yesterday night, please give me all that information between 9 to 10. Everybody should call and tell you what is the problem. I don't want to hear good news, I want to hear the bad news, so that I can manage it when customer calls me. Okay? So the leader is one who is ready to always listen to the bad news and ready to take some steps to improve that. Okay? So you should be able to open communications, provide clear direction, blah blah blah, etc. Here. Okay? The main thing is, once you define everything, how do you really create a culture of excellence and reward challenges? Means creating culture is very, very important in the organization. So what kind of culture, let us say, without naming your company, we can talk about what is the culture? Is it open? Is it closed?
Depends on the managers, leaders.
Absolutely. Very good. Yes, the topmost, the CEO says we are in an open culture. But whereas your project manager say, don't talk anything bad about your product quality. Okay, you have received 1,000 issues, you got it, you just keep quiet. I will manage it. You never say to announce it. And you pass the certification of the product and you send it to the customer place and there it bombs. Okay, then you will see, boss, you didn't tell me. Are you only told me not to send it? You released it with exceptions or with defects. So a leader is one, if the openness is there, means yes, we should be ready to communicate openly all the problems, issues, everything in the organization. Let us move on. There is a rat race happening everywhere, you can't, even if you want to increase by $5, customers say, can you give me 30% discount on the overall billing?
So basically that you can do by differentiated services.
By it, absolutely. You can say, my consultants are at a different level compared to other service industry. You can always say that. Okay? And KPI need not be person dependent. Means we always define a KPI not to evaluate the performance of a person, it is for a group or an organization or something, or a LOB. Okay? Means usually what happens, the problem is, every project manager thinks, if I am accepting these 3 KPIs, it is measurement of my performance, it is not. Okay? Somebody says you have to achieve 18% margin in this project. With that, a signed contract is given to your project manager. You have to achieve 18% margin. This is your revenue, this is 12 months period, 8 resources. So what the PM thinks, if I don't do within this actually, my performance appraisal, I will get use of getting A grade, I will get C grade, or I will get L1 to L5, whatever it is. Okay? Hence we say it should not be person dependent. It can be always for a unit or a division, and never cross over KPIs. Means the KPI should not be overlap. Means between one group to another group. Can we imagine this? How it happens? You will say, if you are in a quality group, quality management group, we will say a measurement of a developer should be measured based on number of defects, minimum number of defects what was observed in the product software which he has developed. But that guy will say, no, don't measure me on that. I am writing 1,000 lines of code that could be a minimum 10% or 20% defects. But I am going to fix it. Hence, one KPI for one organization or one unit may hamper the other group. If 25% margin is only required for a service industry, if that is the case, that is given by mandate given by the management. Whereas other service companies are doing only 15% or 12% margin in the universe. How can I achieve 22%? Either I should bill high, or I should have deployed resources which are low skill set. Ultimately, the customer will be satisfied at the end of the project. So these are conflicting, kind of KPIs from the management and from a delivery angle or from a quality angle or from customer angle. We move on. MBOs to capture market share of 80%. Some examples I have given here for each one to understand. It could be we want to achieve 80% during financial year, or we want to improve margin by from 28% to 32%. It could be for a product company, not for a service company. Penetrate new markets, or it could be achieve resources utilization by 70% to 60%. Is it achieve or is it to reduce? Means we want to, from 60% utilization is happening in the company, we want to increase it to 75%. Okay, that's what it should be one of the MBO. And that is done by always the RAM group. What is RAM group? Resource allocation management group. Okay, there will be so many things we can move on. This is how actually one of the KPI we have developed internally, how we can really measure. So we can say the objective could be to be a market leader. For that, the measures would be how to increase our market share. Target could be increase revenue by 10% quarter on quarter. Then you can see initiatives are penetrate new market, growth, cross-selling, upselling, everything. Okay? And what is status? So these status can be measured on a month or quarter on quarter with a red, yellow, green, upward moving, downward moving, we can give all the statistics. Similarly, we can talk about bottom line, we can talk about customer referenceability, we can talk about cultural excellence in the organization. We can do these kind of things. Any questions? Yep.
Yeah, these KPIs are very at a high level. Okay?
Yep.
It's, at a business level rather. When we bifurcate or when we propagate these KPIs to a project manager level, it turns to be very different. Okay. And any thoughts you have how to map those KPIs at a project levels?
Fantastic, great question. So which one you want to take? One of them and we can describe.
Any on the top you can take that to be a market leader.
Fantastic. So to do this actually, what course we can implement is we can implement a CRM system, okay? Customer management system, okay? We can call it as, where we can actually track how many are the new customers, who are the prospects, what kind of percentage it is actually, is it the contract to be signed or not, and how much will be the revenue you are going to get from that, okay? Booking end. Order booking is different from what you actually order what you deliver also. So you are looking at the pipeline and then you can come into conclusions. So you can build a system which will be a dashboard in this region. You can do by region, by product, by LOB, you can do that. You can blow it up. Okay? And then start measuring it. So you can say in ASPAC region I may go by 20% as per the trend, whereas it could be less than 5% in Latin America. So you can build those things. We move on to that. I think there is some disadvantage not being shown. So what we want to say here is linking team members' goals to the organization level goals is very, very important. Okay? Excuse me. Yeah. So how the pyramid whole looks like? I think one of the guy was showing us, and a speaker showing us, it looks like a hierarchy. Means you are having a CEO level, you are having middle management, you are having project managers, and then you are the team members. Each team member in the organization should know what is his contribution to the organization. If there is a customer referenceability is one of your KPI, I want 90% of my customer should be referenceable. That is one of the key KPI. So what is needed? Each and every team member should know whatever you do for this project. Means you develop a code, you should be 100% bug free. Or it meets the business requirements properly. Okay, if you think there are some things which have been left out, it doesn't meet the business workflow, can you identify them and contribute in the beginning itself? We can take care of those things. Alright? So we have to see that we link up each and every team member, what he contributes to the organization growth. It could be from any of these angles. So how do we really make margins to grow? Means, I think how many have heard of these cost control measures? Correct? Every company does it in the last quarter usually. Why? Because first 3 quarters you have been in a trend of looking at putting footprint in different markets. You spend a lot of money on marketing activities, travels, everything. But you see year on year or quarter on quarter whether you have achieved something. I want to compare what was my bottom line and top line for the last year's quarter compared to this March to March. At that time they will see, okay, we are not able to achieve it. Then some of this cost control will come separately. So if each team member is known that, okay, I think any rework on this particular product or service is going to cost us more, then we can avoid that rework. Okay? So hence we say we are having a team member goal, it could be at a portfolio level, and the business unit level, at the organization level. We talk about this. And it should be linked up. So from here I would like to hand over to Sundar, who takes care of risk management in my group. So I thought he can explain you more about the standards, process, tools, and technology what we can implement.
And wherein you can achieve what the customer wants. So in terms of satisfaction, or it could be in terms of fitment for use. So let's talk about the standards, process, and tools. Wherein you need to understand what kind of industry you are in, what is the business you are looking out for, and what kind of process can be applicable to it, so that you ensure that it meets the business standards, as well as you maintain your process, and which is going to give you an efficiency and efficiency, which I was mentioning about. So that's more important, where you need to see which are going to adapt for. It's not like, it's like a copy paste. Okay, I just take it from an X company and I try to apply for my company, and whether it will work or not. Most of the time, it will not work at all. So there are certain standards process which you can pilot. If let's say like it's a new segment where you are starting up an organization, and where you want to pilot upon what exactly it is, how I can measure it. And once you define this set of metrics, what exactly you want, you can pilot it, implement it, and see whether, as it given the desired result. Even if it gives 80% of what you want to achieve, I would say it is a success. So those are the factors which you need to really look into it. And there are a lot of benefits. For instance, we are all in this forum so that we want to understand what are the best practices which is being done at various companies, and where the people share about it. Maybe if it's good, take it up, put it across, implement it. There's the one of the core value of the session is not just to take it, and you also go practice and see whether it's going to work for you or not. There are many cases where I personally have done, where I take some certain inputs from attending a seminars, and where I have implemented in my projects, and where it has worked wonders. And also in terms of the continuous improvement, there's no end to it. It's like you've got to keep on enriching your what exactly is one. As the morning section they said, it's not what we ask customer, what do you want? It's we who are going to say what the customer wants. So the customer looks you as a more of a guide, where you can tell them, okay, this is what your business is, this is what you're going to do with, this is what it's going to help you with. And for those constraints, what are the one parameters that needs to be applied, and how it can be applied. Nothing is like, it can be done at 100%. It has to go on a stage by stage basis. So there has to be a continuous process improvement in terms of how you are going to measure. Like the examples already quoted in MBOs, I'll try to have a resource utilization from 60 to 70, maybe for a year, and maybe from there on I'll move to 75, so on and so forth. Right? And you also need to have kind of a tool, or in kind of Excel or any tracking system which you track and monitor to see how this data has been made. Because tomorrow the manager is going to ask for, okay, we have done this, we have done the business consulting, and we are looking forward for many more opportunities. How do we know my business is working fine? What are the factors that you can collate and show to the management, so that they believe in you, and also they put more funding to it, and they expand the business. So it can be a tool based, or it can be even an Excel. When the very important thing is start upon. Don't wait for something tool which can give you complete 100% so that you can replace. You don't want to wait for it. Probably by the time you enrich your Excel, or you enrich your own tool, tomorrow that might be the one which you're going to be used across Facebook, WhatsApp. So, and in terms of the technology, product, or services. In terms of product, as mentioned earlier, the customer looks for the quality. It's a quality to what we are going to give to the customer. So in terms of, and even for the customer, they themselves get more opportunities. So by gaining more opportunities for them, they ensure that your business also expands to them, right? And also, it's a word of mouth. When you promise and when you deliver on time, definitely there's a role for support. So as I said, with this minimal defects, which is acceptable to the customer, when it's being given, where the customer, by word of mouth, is going to give us a much more orders, opportunities, and it's going to be going forward the partnership. It's no more you and I. It's we, right? And for if the product, you need to have a USP, a unique selling identifier, or as you said, consulting in terms of how can I increase my billing rate by showing how I can provide a service which is different from any normal service company. That's the way it needs to be wherein when they say, okay, this is a company, they know what exactly they service and how they service. So, and also in terms of the technology, that's more important wherein as Azure was by, we have to be in the latest technology wherein it can withstand and wherein it can be sustainable for next at least 3 to 4 years of time, and wherein you can expand your business as well as ensure that the customer business is being grown. So there needs to be kind of an R&D division wherein it looks out for saying, okay, this is a market wherein it is not being explored in so region, which can be done, and what the technology can be used. So those technology products, they make a very vital source, so as it helps you in maximizing your ROI as well. So the people, I mean, we have the organization, you have the executive management objective, their collaboration, and it's when the people who have to deliver it. And you don't have a kind of a right people. Maybe it's not that it can be 100% where, okay, this is a consulting product where I'll get exact resources who are supposed to be. It may not be applicable in 99.5 cases. So you have a kind of a resource where you identify them, you see what are the interests upon, as the morning they say, like, today you have Google, Facebook and WhatsApp, where it clearly says what is this person's interests, what is the hobbies, what is their likes. Choose among it, choose a corresponding resource, have it for the project, which is mapping to it, and where his interest is there, where his passion is there, so as he or she delivers what is expected out of it. And in order to create it, you need to have a workplace which is much more fun, where he comes, he enjoys himself, and delivers. Unless until a person is comfortable, whatever he or she does, it not come as a 100% optimized call. So we have to give an environment so it can work, he can deliver it, and at the end of the day, he goes home and sleep as well, basically. So and it's learning is always, it's